Welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name is Grant. Today I'm unboxing a brand new game from GMT Games in the Lunchtime series of card-driven games. That means they play in 30 to 45 minutes. This game is called The Bell of Treason, 1938 Munich Crisis in Czechoslovakia. So this game specifically deals with the Nazi demand for the return of the Sudetenland in Czechoslovakia during 1938 in the buildup to World War II. If you remember, after World War I, the German Empire was kind of carved up. Czechoslovakia gained control of the Sudetenland, and in the Sudetenland, because it was adjacent to the German frontier, lots of Germans had moved there, and there was a high percentile portion of that area that were German. So the Nazis used it as a propaganda tool to demand Czechoslovakia return it to them or pay the price. So this game, you can see it's in a smaller box, very similar to Red Flag over Paris or Fort Sumter. That means they're portable. The game is designed, and I'm going to butcher your name, Petr, but I've interviewed Petr at least 2-3 times for his other games. Petr Mojis. Very cool looking game. I've been excited to play it. It does have, I believe, a solo bot. Yes, it is 1 to 2 players. So I'm definitely going to try to break that out. Here's a look at the board and then just a summary of the game. Once again, that system is designed by Mark Herman. He designed that for Fort Sumter. Joe Dewhurst is the developer, and then the graphics are by Tomasz Niedzinski. And this game, you are playing basically the Czechoslovakian interior government. In fact, the sides are called Defend and Concede. So one side wants to give in to the demands, the other wants to fight that. So over 3 rounds of the game, you're going to use your strategy cards to take control of these various domains representing different areas such as political, public opinion, and the international stage. So that's what the game is about. Let's go ahead and jump on in. I've actually had this game for a while and just got around to unboxing it. Rules of play here, very, very simple. I like the small format. There are 15 pages, but it looks like the back 2 pages there are the glossary. So the reality is this is only 13 pages of rules. As I was looking at it the other day, there are these red boxes that say important. So you've got to pay attention to those. They also have other colors kind of differentiating the text. Blue and kind of a cream. The cream, I think, are designer notes, yes. And then the blue are kind of further notes on the maybe what the pieces represent. Cards are beautiful, well laid out, great graphic design. But there's the rules. 13 pages of rules. There's also a playbook. Probably describes the mechanics of the game. Looks like it does, which is always good. You can read through that and get a better feel. And then kind of a playthrough of it. So there's a round 1, 2, and 3 playthrough. Actually, it's not a playthrough. It's more the discussion of the historical elements. There also, it appears, is a pronunciation guide, which is really good. And maybe I should have reviewed that before I butchered Petr's name. And then there is the history behind the cards kind of listed here. So you're going to get a good feel for the historical sweep of the event, which I always think is great. That's one of the reasons that I enjoy playing war games. So that's the playbook. Not necessary to play the game necessarily, but a resource that will help you learn the history and better understand the aspects of the game. There are 2 play aids. They are almost identical. They're not identical. These are solo play aids on the back. So if you're playing the defend solo opponent, That's what you'll follow, or the concede solo opponent. And then these are just the standard player aids when you're playing the game. Two-player. Has the sequence of play, a discussion of strategy cards and how they work, pivotal space bonuses, always an important part of this series, and then final decision and victory. So there's the play aids. Let's go ahead and look at the board. I like the board. Enjoy the colors. But as typical, high production quality from GMT. This is a really nice game. And I'm looking forward very much so to playing this. But you can see they've used the portraits of different leaders with the colors. These are those domains. So you have yellow, purple, green, and reddish, which represent, once again, public, political, military, and the international. These are the player aids where you're going to store your cubes, which basically represent your influence on the board. There's a track there. And then here's where you're going to place your final decision card. In essence, each of the 3 rounds, you're going to play, I think it's 4 cards out of the 5 that you have. And one of them you're going to reserve for the final decision phase. And that's kind of a very end game thing where you can potentially move units around and change, not units, political tokens around and change the outcome of the game. It does have a bunch of wood. So these are wooden cubes. There's a couple of administrative tokens that you're going to track. Love the green and the white. Very nice looking. And then here's the kind of the pawns. These are the typical coin series like pawns. And then you have some red discs. You also have a single, I'm just going to tear that out, single 6-sided die, because you will be rolling the dice from time to time. And then you do have a pack of cards. Let me go ahead and open these. Should have pre-opened them, but I'm doing kind of a bunch of these videos this morning, and I kind of did it without planning, frankly. I decided, I've got some time. I'm going to do some unboxing videos. So here's a look at the cards. Love the card art. Here I'll show you on the back, the Bell of Treason. Love the red and the red and the blue of the Czechoslovakian flag. Very well done, as would be expected. I'm going to get all of those cards because there's 2 different types of cards. So here's the objective cards. These are the cards that you're going to get at the beginning of the turn. I think you draw, I want to say it's 2 or 3 of them, and you choose one. But the Czechoslovaks, that is a space in the public domain. If you control that at the end of that round, you're going to get to do these abilities. So it looks like there's about a dozen of those. Really like the look of those. And then these are the actual cards themselves. They're going to give you an op value that can be used to put out influence. It looks like most of them are 1s, 2s with a couple of 3s mixed in. But they also have the title of the card, and then they tell you what you can do with this card if you play this as the event. And then here are the solitaire instructions. But this one says add up to 2 total cubes to the United Kingdom and or France spaces. Those are in the international domain, and up to 1 cube in the press space. So the press, where's the press space? Well, I'm missing it. Here we go. Press is in the public domain. And you'll notice it's red, so that coincides with the domain. Great graphic design to make the connection. If 3 are added, defend may add 1 green cube to the press space. German propaganda. So you can see there are all different types of elements focused on the historical parts of the event. Stalin's double game, Poland demands territory, real help from the USSR, Whole bunch of those. Cards are a big part of the game themselves. Here is an initiative card. And then there are a couple of cards, like mobilization is one that goes in this box. And then these are round cards. So 3 or 4 different types of cards that all are integral to the game itself. Well, there you have it. There's a look at the contents of the Bell of Treason from GMT Games. Very much looking forward to playing this. I do enjoy a good card-driven game, and I think that these lunchtime series games are very well done, and they are eminently playable, meaning anyone can play this. I've played Fort Sumter with my wife probably 50 times, and we also played a couple of others. 13 Days is an example, that are similar style of games with that final crisis or final decision round that's in those. So there you have it, the Bell of Treason from GMT Games. Appreciate you watching. I've been Grant from the Player's Aid.